Yeah, you might
Hi,
want
and
to turn
welcome
your phones
to
on quiet.
C&E's Drinking from a Distance Learning Series. I'm Jeremy Foltz from the C&E Marketing Department. Today we're going to be bringing you part two in our series, the Pneumatics and Pipes extension. As we're all at home during this challenging time, C&E wanted to be able to bring you something informational yet entertaining, and so we decided to take our Pneumatics and Pints and Cobot Happy Hour and combine them into one virtual series that we're bringing to you via live streams over YouTube. And here we are today for the second one. And Terry and Jeff are going to be hosting it and providing you all with some insightful information into the C&E Pneumatics product line. C&E in no way endorses drinking at work. However, we wanted to bring you an informational yet fun series that continue with the theme that we had going, being hosted at breweries in our service area. The beer I'm sharing today is Strange Magic by Fatheads, which is in Middleburg Heights near Cleveland, Ohio. And it is an IPA. It's very hop forward, uses what they call aromatic and flavor hops. Not too stringent on the bitter scale, even though it does clock in at 65 IBUs and 6.5% alcohol by volume. This is a great beer, one of my favorites for this time of year. Very refreshing, yet very bold and flavorful at the same time. Recommend picking that up if you can find that in your local bottle shop. And with that, I'd like to throw to Terry. She's going to bring you a very informative and insightful webinar on the pneumatics line at C&E. And I'll be seeing you again soon. Cheers. Terry, I'm throwing to you.
Welcome to our Drinking from a Distance virtual series. My name is Terry Schaub, and I am the Motion Product Manager for C&E Advanced Technologies. We've held a number of events recently at microbreweries around the area to show you the latest technology from C&E. We're dedicated to continue doing that, but doing so from a safe distance for the time being. This is the second in a 6-week series showcasing our robotics, pneumatics, and part marking systems. Each episode will feature a drink of the week and give you an opportunity to score some cool swag. Today, we're featuring my personal favorite, Bang energy drinks. Not only are Bang energy drinks sugar-free, but they've got 300 milligrams of caffeine, and they come in many great flavors. Just for reference, one Bang is equivalent to 3 large cups of coffee. My favorites, as you can see here, are Cotton Candy and Rainbow Unicorn. So now we're going to jump into a few slides to introduce you to the Kogane product line. Okay, so C&E Advanced Technologies has been providing industrial automation solutions to our customers since 1978. We've got 120 employees and $80 million in sales in 2019. Our knowledgeable technology consultants and engineers reside throughout our 4-state geography and are available to quickly support our customers' needs. C&E went through a rebranding a couple of years ago, and we've got a new logo. You may have known us as C&E Sales. We are now C&E Advanced Technologies. We've launched a new website, and our new building is currently under construction. At C&E, we've got the connections that keep people working. We strive to exceed your service and support needs daily. C&E has offered a variety of product families to serve your needs. We've recently introduced both marking systems and pneumatics, and today we're going to focus on our pneumatics offering. So why do we choose to branch out into pneumatics? We wanted to be able to provide our customers with a more complete solution, and pneumatics are an inexpensive and simple implementation for linear motion. So one of the companies that we've partnered with is Kogane. The Kogane brand may not be well known in the States yet, but it's up and coming. Kogane has been around for 85 years, and they're located in Japan. They're actually in the same city as SMC, and they compete heavily with SMC. Kogane is focused on making products that are smaller, more repeatable, and longer lasting than their competition. They specialize in miniature technologies and efficient designs. More specifically, today we're going to be talking about their IB series of products. So what does IB stand for? It stands for Innovative and Blue Ocean. The term blue ocean was coined by the authors of the book Blue Ocean Strategy. It describes creating a market space that is untouched by the competition. The IB series products are the result of Kogane's commitment to the blue ocean concept. So for the purposes of our presentation today, we're going to talk to you a little bit about some problems that you may see out on your machines or in your applications and how Kogane can help you solve those. So do you see moisture in your pneumatic lines? Well, Kogane's got a solution for you. It's the IB Cyclone water separator. This water separator has superior separation performance at over 99%. We're going to take a quick look at the construction of the IB Cyclone. The fin that you can see on the right side of your screen is where all the magic happens. This is the cyclone generator, and the technology of the width of these fins and the shape of these fins is what gets you that superior separation rate. You may also notice that there's no filter element shown here like you might be familiar with in other water separators. So that's going to save you on your replacement spare part cost as well as the labor to do that PM on a regular basis. So why would we recommend you choose an IB Cyclone? Well, for the reasons I've already discussed, as well as it's half the size of other water separators, it can potentially replace more expensive air dryers or drip legs, and it's a very cost-effective solution. You can get a 3/8 version for less than $100. You need a water separator or any other FRL system on quick delivery? Well, C&E can help you with that as well. C&E has a game changer program, so we can ship fully assembled and ready to install FRL systems, including the IB Cyclone, within 24 to 48 hours after receipt of your PO. We'll just talk to your technology consultant for details. Here's a quick glance at our easy-to-use Air Prep Game Changer form. As you can see, it shows all the different components that you might need for your FRL system, and we've highlighted the IB Cyclone. So you're frustrated by the high cost of typical valves? Does it seem like they're made out of gold? Well, Kogane's got the solution for you. It's the IB0 5-port manifold solenoid valve. This is the world's first all-plastic molded body valve. The IB0 demonstrates Kogane's commitment to innovation with its compact size. A 4-station unit is approximately 4 inches wide by 5 inches across, so that can fit right there in the palm of your hand. It is very easy to assemble. You just take the piece parts, snap them together, and then secure them with a screwdriver at the end. And finally, it's really easy to select your IB0 part number. You've got a couple different decisions to make. You can choose from either a single or a double solenoid type valve. You can stack up to 20 valves in a manifold, and the IB0 comes with quick fittings. You just select 4, 6, or 8 millimeter options. So why would we recommend you choose the IB0? It's simple modular assembly, it's thin and lightweight, and it is very cost effective. You could get a 2-station manifold with 1 single solenoid and 1 double solenoid, all for less than $100. Do you have the need to vary the flow electronically in your application? Kogane's got a couple solutions for that as well. The first is the IB Flow digital controller. It can be used to simply set up cylinder synchronization. So what you can do with the IB Flow is digitally program between 2 and 16 different cylinders to extend and retract in unison. Those cylinders can have different bore and stroke. This is going to eliminate the need for flow controls or manual adjustments. And then the other really cool feature of the IB Flow is it's got an autocorrect ability for changes in flow that might happen in your system, so you can keep that extend and retract time in sync. You can also get real-time monitoring with the IB Flow, so you can run the responses back to your PLC, and like I said, you can centralize the control of up to 16 different cylinders operating in sync. Kogane's got another option that can help you vary the flow in your application. This is the IB Flow Select digital flow controller. This is a remote operation, and it allows you to run processes where you might need to switch between multiple flow rates. So you can remotely control the flow volume. You can select up to 7 different preset flow rates with this product. It's a really low power consumption product, and it's got a wide pressure range, 0 to 102 PSI. You're going to use the IB Flow Select in any application where the size of the product changes, thus requiring more or less flow. And the IB Flow Select can replace direct acting valves and proportional valves. So you can vary that flow from 0 to 75 liters per minute. You've got up to 7 different preset flow rates, and it's a very cost-effective solution compared to a proportional valve. You have a need for light-duty point-to-point high-speed positioning. Kogane's got a solution for that as well. It is the IB Move linear stepping actuator for simple point-to-point moves. So the IB Move is actually 2 pieces of hardware. You're going to get an actuator with a max speed of up to 27.6 inches a second that could be mounted in a horizontal or a vertical orientation, as well as a 24-volt DC open-loop micro-stepping drive to control the actuator. So with the IB Move, you can make precise and quick movements, and it's also going to be a pretty quiet and clean solution for you. There's no deceleration mechanism, and the product does not use any internal grease. A few different applications. So you can do high-speed positioning of lightweight products. Here we're showing bottle caps going down a conveyor line, or you can kick out any jammed or rejection parts. And the IB Move also works well for color sorting with photo eyes. So you choose an IB Move for the simple setup and operation. There's no air required with this product. It's an electronically controlled device, and it's a very low cost solution. For linear motion, you can get the actuator and controller all for just under $400. Okay. Thanks for your attention to that quick presentation. Now we're going to go over to Jeff Atkinson's home office to show you more details using the hardware setup that he's got. Jeff is our pneumatics specialist, and he's going to give you a live demonstration of some of the products that I've discussed. But first, Jeff, how do you like the Bang energy drinks?
Well, Terry, I've got a Georgia peach sweet tea. It is delicious. Yeah, it's very good, actually. I've never tried a Bang drink before. I'm not going to drink the whole thing, though, because I'm afraid I might be jumping up doing jumping jacks instead of paying attention to this demo board and talking about that. So let me talk a little bit about the 3 of the IB products: the IB Move, the IB Flow Select, and the IB Flow. But before I do that, I want to point out some of the other fine products that are on here that C&E also represents. For example, we have Anyep, which is another pneumatics company that we sponsor. There's a multi-socket disconnect up here that works with all 3 of the standard North American sockets for quick connects for air hoses. You only need 1 socket and it works with everything. There's a chrome plated mini ball valve. And then all the tubing and fittings is also from Anyep. They feature a Swift Fit fitting that works with NPT and both the metric BSPP or G thread or the BSPT or R thread that you find in Asia. Next, we also have some banner lights on here. These are the S22 series, 7 segment or 7 different colors. Then we have a Turk TBEN block. This block is a multi-protocol and has 16 inputs or outputs configurable on 8 ports. There's also ability to daisy chain the network between blocks and daisy chain the power, which is a very cool feature. This particular block works on Profinet. We're programming it, talking to our Siemens S7 1200 PLC. We also have a Siemens SciTop 5-amp power supply, as well as a Siemens circuit breaker, some Siemens terminals, and some Siemens selector switches and push buttons. I'd also like to talk a little bit about the Kogane products that we have on here. We have an air prep unit, and this could be a game changer. This could be something you could order just like this, and it would come fully assembled with all of the fittings, including the mufflers, in 24 to 48 hours upon receipt of PO. This particular guy has a manual valve shutoff. It has a branching module. It has an FRZB filter regulator and water separator. Very unusual, Terry. You do not see this anywhere else in the marketplace. And then there's also a micro mist filter. It's a coalescing style with a 0.3 micron. And we have that in the system to protect our digital inline flow meter from dirt and debris. Then there's a valve stack here you can see, and this is also a game changer, something you can get in 24 to 48 hours, fully assembled with all the fittings and mufflers. This particular stack has 2 single valves with DIN connections and 2 blanking plates, so you can add spare valves later on. And finally, I want to talk a little bit about the round-bodied cylinders that you see here on the board. These would be very similar to the Bimba original line that so many people use, except I feel like they're far superior, not just because I'm a Kogane representative, but because they just are. On April 30th, Terry and I are going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about all of the cylinders that Kogane offers, and you'll be amazed at the quality and value that you can find there. This round-bodied cylinder, the reason it's so special is because it comes with the brackets. It also comes with the air cushions or bumpers. And when you take the whole cylinder package into consideration, compared to other outside competitors, sensors, brackets, bumpers, this guy is a third to half of the cost of Bimba or Festo or SMC or ASCO Pneumatics. So with that, I'm going to turn this guy on. And you're not going to be able to see the lights very well, unfortunately. We have a green light for ready or go. We have a yellow light for warning or error. And then we have a red light for fault or alarm. This here, let's start with the IB Move. This is a electric actuator, like Terry said. It's 2 positions, and it has a little digital flow controller actuator controller that has 4 inputs and 4 outputs. And there's a free software at koganeusa.com that you can download. And basically, you're just going to go in there and tell it how far to move with each actuation. There's a home position, and then there's position 1 and position 2. We have this set up talking with our Siemens PLC, and I'm going to press the start button. And when I do, it's going to switch to a yellow light, and because it's doing a homing sequence. Once at home, the light turns to green, and I'm going to press this. We have it going out and back 5 times as our little program. So I'm going to start cycle. I'll do that again. And that's the IB Move. Turn the air on here. And we're going to talk about the IB Flow Select. The IB Flow Select is an inline flow controller. It has a little control unit here that talks over analog with our flow meter. And basically, it has 2 modes of operation. It has a needle opening mode, which you use for programming, and it has a flow control mode once you have it programmed. It's very simple. The 2 talk. What you do is there's a little dip switch on here you can set to get your 7 different presets, and you very simply just push the button to get it to where you want it to be. And once you have the flow you want, then you hit the set button. You change your dip switch and you do your next setting. And I have set it for 3 different flows. And right now you probably can't see this, but it's set at double zeros. And I'm going to turn on the first setting. You probably can't hear that, but there's air just coming out the bottom through a muffler. And so electronically, there's a little digital stepper motor in there that is controlling a needle valve that's just changing the amount of flow that is allowed to go through the orifice. And this is set at 50 liters per minute. And I'm going to turn it again to the second signal. That's going to take me up to 70 liters per minute. And then finally, the last one's going to take me up to around 85 liters per minute. And that is the IB Flow Select. Our last is the IB Flow, and this is a takt time controller for cylinders. Like Terry said, you could have 16 different cylinders with different bores and different strokes and have them all go in unison. Or you could simply have just one cylinder that was very critical that you kept the right cycle time. It will auto-correct, like Terry said, if there's a leak in one of the ports, or if you have an operator that's messing with flow controls or turning up the pressure, it will automatically adjust to try and correct itself. If the cylinder's starting to fail, it's getting old and having a lot of stiction internally, it will try and auto-correct. And there is a signal back to the PLC, like Terry mentioned. It'll try and go back and forth, and after so many tries, you can set an alarm and say, hey, there's a problem with your cylinder. We need to go fix that. So what we have is we have the two round body cylinders, and one is a 50 millimeter stroke, and the other is a 150 millimeter stroke. And I've gone in and downloaded this a similar software to the IB Move. It's free from Kogane. And it's very simple. You just set it up. It works off the sensors. It goes back and forth. Each cylinder has a control unit and two what they call main units. And the main units are where the little opening for the needle valve and the stepper motor happen. So you can control the extend and the retract. And I've gone in and set both of these to half a second each way. So I'm going to press the start button here, and both the lights are green. And the top one turned yellow. And the reason it turned yellow is because it's not in sync, but now it's in sync and they're both green. So we have two different 50 millimeter and 150 millimeter, and they're both extending and retracting in unison at the same time. And that is the IB flow. So I get to talk about one of my drinks of choice, and one of my favorites breweries is the West 6 Brewery in Lexington, Kentucky. It's very easy to get to. It's about 10 minutes off I-75. It's in a 100-year-old building called the Bread Box, and it's called that because it used to be a rainbow bread factory. And typically they have 10 to 15 beers on tap, and there's also this wonderful seafood restaurant that has the symbiotic relationship with the brewery. What I do, Terry, is I go in and I order one of the platters, like the oysters or shrimp, and then I go sit at the bar and I order my favorite beer, and then they bring the food right out to me while I'm sitting there. It's amazing. I'm featuring a couple of their beers. This is their Hop Static IPA, and it's 7.5 ABV. Very good, very tasty. This is what they call one of their rotating beers they just have once in a while. And then you can only get this when you're in the tap house. This is their blackberry sour. So if you like a Gosa, this is a go-to Gosa for me. I really like it, really enjoy it. And with that, I think I'll turn it back over to Terry. We have some kind of competition brewing, Terry, I hear.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Yes, so you guys should be able to see the joinmyquiz.com website and our game code, which is 271076 on your screen. Please hop over to the website and log in to participate in our online quiz. We're going to give you a chance to win some great prizes. So there will be a $75 gift card for first place, a $50 gift card for second place, and a $25 gift card for third place. Hopefully you guys are able to get joined in. Again, that's joinmyquiz.com.
And they should use their name, right, Terry? They should use their name.
Yeah,
so.
thanks, Jeff. Yeah, try to use your first and last name so that if you do win the quiz, we can ship out your prizes easily. All right, looks like we're having some folks start to join in. So while everybody gets that going, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about C&E's efforts to stay functional for our customers during this crisis that we're all going through. Most of our workforce is working from home to support our customers with product availability questions, quote and order processing, as well as any technical or product support questions you might have. We do have the ability to host interactive teleconferences as needed. We are also using this time to develop additional ways to engage and stay in touch with our customers. This Drinking from a Distance series is just one example of that. We're going to be hosting these every Thursday afternoon throughout the end of April. Let me just check our status here. Looks like we've got several different folks. I'll give it one more minute to let everybody join in. So over the next few weeks, some of our upcoming topics include mobile robots featuring Mirror and Auto Guide. That's next Thursday, April 9th. We're going to be covering marking systems featuring Best Code continuous inkjet printers on April 16th. We're going to be talking about robot end effectors featuring MagSwitch, Kogane, OnRobot, and Shunk on April 23rd. And then finally, as Jeff mentioned, we're going to come back around to pneumatics and talk about air cylinders featuring both Kogane and Anyep on April 30th. Okay, so it looks like we've got people ready to start the quiz. I'm going to press start. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our leaderboard here, and we've got folks starting to answer questions. You get points for both correct answers as well as quickness of response.
So Terry, if they want with their gift card, they can get, what can they get with that?
So what we've been doing with the gift cards is you can select some swag from one of your own favorite craft breweries or any of the topics that we're any of the products that we are discussing on the series. So for instance, if you wanted some Bang energy drinks or they make Bang workout wear, you could choose that, or you could choose something from West 6th. I think last week Dana featured Jackie O's in his presentation. So if you like that product, whatever you like, but I'll be sending an email to the winners and we'll talk with you about what you'd like to choose and get that gift card sent out to you. So while everybody's playing the game, Dana did this last week. Let me run through it one more time just to make our lawyers happy. We want to mention our little disclaimer. We are here today to promote a fun and enjoyable learning environment, and in no way are we promoting drinking alcoholic beverages while working. We have no ties to any of the beverages or products presented. These are just some of our personal favorites, so you can get to know us a little bit better. Looks like we've got a lot of activity on the leaderboard there, Jeff.
Yeah, it's it's going crazy. It's changing around a little bit too. I mean, we got to play one of these just as a test with Dana a couple weeks ago. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I didn't do very well though. I think I got killed.
Well, good thing you're not in this one because you'd be the winner on the pneumatics questions.
Boy, I better win, huh? Or Joel's going to really be after me. I think one of the other swags was Fatheads up in Cleveland that Jeremy was talking about too.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thanks for mentioning that. Okay, looks like we're getting close.
So Terry, I know you're not much of a beer drinker, but if you're ever going through Lexington and you like seafood. Oh boy, that West Six, that you could just go eat at the restaurant. You don't have to. And they have other drinks too. I don't know if they have Bang or not, but they do have some. They do have some interesting homemade beverages that are non-alcoholic. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, my family actually is from Lexington, Kentucky, so I might just try that out, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, all right. And believe it or not, it is on West Sixth Street.
Oh, there you go. Who knew?
Well, yeah, who knew?
All right, it looks like we've got a couple people left. Finish up the quiz.
So have you picked out a drink for the 30th?
Well, for me, I'll probably feature Monster energy drinks because that's my second favorite, and they're also 0 calorie.
I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to give it away, but I'm going to talk about my favorite local Dayton brewery next time.
Okay, there you go.
And I'm going to have several different beers from that brewery. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping someday when this is all over and I'm out of my home office that we'll get to go there and have a real Pneumatics and Pints at my favorite pub.
Yeah, there you
Favorite
go.
brew
That's
pub.
very nice. Yeah. Okay, well, it looks like the quiz is about wrapped up. I don't think we're going to have anybody else jump to the top, but I'll check back here in a second. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining in the fun today. I will be sending an email to each of the winners so that we can get your gift cards mailed out. And then I wanted to note, once things return to normal, Jeff and I would be happy to host a lunch and learn at your facility with any of the hardware we've shown today, anything we're going to be talking about on the 30th for Pneumatics, and anything else that you might have questions about. So just thanks again for joining us today. Our second episode of C&E's Drinking from a Distance series. Just a reminder, we will be back next Thursday at 3 o'clock with Dana Poling and our mobile robots from Mir and AutoGuide. We hope to see you then. Cheers.
Hey, Terry, if you don't hear from us and you were one of the top 3, you should email us and let us know who you were.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, Terry, we'll see you. It was fun.
Okay, bye.